I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Governor Andrew Cuomo laid out his agenda for the year today in Albany during his third State of the State address. And his to-do list includes passage of a minimum wage increase, passage of a Women's Equality Act, and in the wake of the Newtown school shooting, the governor said it was time to, quote, stop the madness by enacting gun control legislation through the passage of a ban on assault weapons and background checks for all gun purchases.
This is not taking away people's guns. I own a gun. I own a Remington shotgun. I've hunted. I've shot. We have a 7-point agenda. Number 1, enact the toughest assault weapon ban in the nation, period. Number 2, close the private sale loophole by requiring federal background checks. Number 3, ban high-capacity magazines. Number 4, enact tougher penalties for illegal gun use, guns on school grounds, and violent gangs. Number 5, keep guns from people who are mentally ill. Number 6, ban direct internet sales of ammunition in New York. Number 7, create a state NICS check on all ammunition purchases.
And the governor also listed as a priority this year a push to create 3 casino gaming sites in upstate New York locations, plus longer learning time to improve state education. Now look for more on Governor Andrew Cuomo's State of the State, as well as local reaction here at Record Online and in tomorrow's Times-Herald Record. A woman was seriously injured early this afternoon when her car veered off a road in Coldenham and crashed into some trees. The victim, who was not immediately identified, lost control of her car on Old Coldenham Road. It hit an embankment, crossed the road, and went through the front yard of a residence before hitting the trees. The driver had to be extricated from the wreckage and was taken by ambulance to St. Luke's Cornwall Hospital. There was no word on her condition. Police had begun an investigation to determine what may have led up to the crash. Town of Chester police say it happened because the driver failed to adequately clear the frost from her car windshield. And now police have filed misdemeanor reckless endangerment and assault charges against 59-year-old Susan Dean after her vehicle struck and seriously injured a jogger. Eyewitnesses told police the car Dean was driving had frost on much of her windshield and that she apparently didn't see 50-year-old Esther Donahue as she was running along Glenmere Road. Donahue was treated for head injuries at Westchester Medical Center. Dean is scheduled to appear in Chestertown Court January 15th. In Port Jervis, a containment tent has gone up over a section of a cleanup site where contaminated soil is being removed from a former Orange and Rockland Utilities manufactured gas plant off Pike Street. The work is part of an overall $6 million project that includes removal of roughly 5,400 cubic yards of soil contaminated with coal tar, a gas production byproduct. The tent structure was installed as a way to keep dust and vapors from traveling off-site. Prior to O&R ownership, the 1.2-acre property was home to a manufacturing plant that generated hazardous waste that has been leaking into the nearby Delaware River. The soil is being carted away to sites in New Jersey and upstate New York. It's a sentence of 30 years in prison for Osman King Ozzy Nunez, a former warlord with the violent Newburgh Latin Kings street gang who had pleaded guilty to firearms charges. Nunez was among the 35 people rounded up by the Hudson Valley Safe Streets Task Force recently that targeted suspected Newburgh gang members. Nunez is due to be deported to Honduras once he's released from prison. Authorities say he helped plan the ambush murder of John Maldonado back in March of 2010. A registered nurse at Ulster County Shawangum Correctional Facility faces the felony charge of promoting prison contraband for allegedly stealing prescription medicine from the facility. Police say 25-year-old Amanda Ragul of New Paltz was found to be in possession of the stolen medication. She was arraigned in Town of Shawangum Court and released pending a future court appearance. Where do snowplow drivers learn their craft? Well, some of them get the needed training at the State Department of Transportation Snowplowing School. And today, new DOT employees were getting both classroom and equipment training in the proper handling and operation of snowplows, which involves a whole lot more than just pushing around piles of snow. Today's school at the DOT garage in Poughkeepsie also included current employees who were there for an annual refresher to keep their snow removal skills sharp. Reporter Judy Reif will feature the school in an upcoming edition of the Times-Herald Record. And if you can't bear the thought of dealing with a couple more months worth of cold and snowy winter weather, folks like Bill Civillo stand ready to help get you to a warmer climate. Bill's the captain at Captain's Club Cruises, a Middletown-based travel agency specializing in cruise vacations. He says while the continuing sluggish economy and tight budgets have combined to put winter travel on the back burner for many of you, he says an increasing number of area residents are changing their minds and making a warm weather vacation a higher priority.
What we're seeing now, we've seen an upswing in the last few months, and I think it's a couple of reasons. I think people are tired and they're saying, you know what, we haven't had a vacation in a while, I deserve it, and they're going out. Also, I think we're getting more used to the economy the way it is. We're feeling a little bit better about it, so therefore, I deserve it. Let me get out of here. And don't we all just want 1 week where we can just forget about the world and enjoy ourselves? Many of the cruises Civillo books currently leave from New York area ports, and others are easily accessible via Stewart Airport to Florida. It's why he and others want to see more Stewart passengers and ultimately more Stewart flights. The people use Stewart more because if we don't use it, we're going to lose it. We've got some great carriers out of here. I've traveled in JetBlue to Orlando many times in the past year, and it is a breath of fresh air when you have to travel by air to go to Stewart. It's just easy to get through. Yes, they have the security. They want everybody flying safely. But boy, it's a great opportunity in our backyard. Civillo says there are winter travel deals out there if you want to head for the sun and the warmth. And he says now's the time to book that family summer vacation since many travel packages and resort destinations fill up quickly. We will continue to enjoy above average January temperatures for the remainder of the week and into the weekend. The highs will be in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees on Thursday under a mostly sunny sky. Friday will be mostly cloudy and mild with a chance of rain late in the day. Temperatures again will rise to the 45 to 50 degree level. Record Online is the place to find news when it breaks and get the information you need to start your day in tomorrow's Times-Herald Record. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.